What's the worst you ever mortally wounded somebody?
The worst?
Yeah, like with the craziest fight or story where somebody got hurt. I was trying to figure out like how deep in the streets you were.
I was extremely deep.
Really?
I don't think a woman, okay, for example, I am a 42-year-old woman, right? And I don't have any families from a gang. I mean, from my gang. And I feel like I'm well respected. And I feel like that says it all. I feel like if I was just lame ass, fucking random ass broad, you know what I'm saying, doing that kind of shit, don't respect a bitch like that.
I was like, girl, you gotta fight for your respect.
You gotta, you know, I mean, I'm sure you're totally aware of that kind of, you know, women have to carry themselves a certain way in order to get respect.
Right. They're just, they're going to be a victim.
Just because a bitch gets doesn't mean shit.
Right.
Just because a bitch fucks a gang of homies doesn't mean she could throw up the neighborhood.
Really, even just banging a bunch of the homies seems like that's a pretty good way to not have any respect amongst the homies.
You know, and it's like,
they might appreciate you.
Yeah, for the moment. But at the end of the day, are they going to respect you? Are they going to support what you do? No.
Yeah.
I feel like my people respect me.
So do you have like some crazy gangbanger boyfriends during this time period, or?
Well, I always had boyfriends, right?
Okay.
I'm a girl, but I never really cared for men like that.
Really?
Men was like, fools are fools. I don't care. It was more about me getting high, partying, you know, being in the streets with my boys. Do I have men? Yeah. Of course, I'm not an ugly person.
But you didn't want to, like, you didn't want to fall into the trap of seeming like you're just so-and-so's.
Well, I did have that one.
Okay.
But he was from my he is from my neighborhood. And I was like 16 till even after I had my son.
Really?
Yeah, he was always in and out, in and out. I'm not waiting for no fool. I'm not gonna wait for somebody that wouldn't wait for me.
But you gotta hold him down. You're supposed to.
Nah,
that's what this is all about.
You didn't hold it down when you were outside. Why the f should I hold it down when you were inside?
But you're supposed to let him cheat, and you're supposed to just take it on the chin.
No, listen to this. This fool will have girls. I will go in his house, and there will be girls and be like, "Bitch, get the f out. Let's go. I'm taking your ass home."
Really?
That's the kind of relationship.
Wait, you take the girl home?
Like, bitch, get the f up. We're dropping your ass off.
You give her a ride?
I'll give her ass a ride. Go, bitch.
So your boyfriend's dick still smells like her vagina, and you're gonna bring her home.
But I had my baby's dad.
And then you're gonna come back to him and just not care about the fact that he was just getting some pussy.
Do you care?
Sure, yeah. If I showed up at the crib, I'm not bringing
you're 16, 17
Kyle
years old.
home. Yeah.
I mean, but I'm just saying, let's be realistic. You're methed out. People don't give a fuck, bitch. All that mattered to me was like the fact that this bitch knew, get the fuck out, because I'm here.
But I feel like you're not, when you're on the meth, it's not going to make you not care about him blowing somebody else's back out. It's going to make you more angry and passionate.
Well, no, for me it was more like, this bitch knows I'm here. It's time for her to fucking go.
Okay.
Oh, she's coming. I gotta go.
But isn't giving someone a ride home an act of kindness?
But that's my homie. Like, I know her too.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, it was fucking dumb. Obviously, we're fucking all drugged out.
It sounds kind of incestuous.
Yes.
Everybody just knows each other.
Yeah.
And they're just cheating and giving each other rides and smoking primos.
That shit was intense. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Life was a trip. But hey, it is what it is, right? I wasn't even 25 yet. Anything before 25 don't matter to me.
I hear that. I can't remember most of the stuff before I was 25. So.
Everything was a blur. I remember the things that kind of obviously still.
I'm 41 and I feel like I only remember like the last 10 years. Everything before that,
like, it doesn't matter. Everything before 25 years old, like, bro, I don't even remember.
Actually, part of that's not true because I feel like my memories from high school and shit when I was young, I remember that kind of well because it's like I just had so much less going on. Whereas like when I think about my early 30s, when I was really getting up and banging a different chick every night, for sure I could run into one of those girls and have absolutely no idea who she is.
I understand what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of scary.
Yeah. See, that's how I feel when I was before 25 because I got incarcerated at 25.
Then everything slows the down.
Everything was, hey, I'm finally getting to know who I am. I was a mess.
Right.
Yeah. I was smoked the fuck out.
But you weren't doing anything so bad that you would necessarily expect the feds to come pick you up, right? But you're just kind of attached to these other dudes who are basically doing the crazy shit. They're catching bodies and shit.
Well, yeah. Basically, it's like, it's a RICO indictment. So If you're part and they have you like there, I'm on the block 24/7. I've been on my block longer than half of a gang of my homies. And I say that respectfully, guys. You know, like they know what it is.
So you could just stand on the corner selling drugs all day and not have to worry about the cops pulling up or sending somebody undercover.
Well, that they had a lot of undercovers. We would know. We knew like before. So where I'm from, it's called Drew Street, right? They've been selling drugs there since the 80s. That shit was extremely active, Adam.
Right.
Like we'll have 30 people on the bottom and 10 on the top, 10 in the middle. Just gang of homies just slanging rock.
Really?
Armenians. And anybody will just go and buy crack and somebody was
But doesn't a neighborhood have like sort of rules about who can sell drugs here? Like, isn't that what gangs kind of exist to do?
But we're all from that same neighborhood.
Okay. So everybody's allowed to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
We're all allowed to do that. Obviously, you had to pay a little bit of rent.
Okay.
You have to.
Okay.
You know?
But when I was watching a video of you going back to your neighborhood and shit, it was like nobody's outside.
Nobody's outside right there right now.
Which is kind of like a huge percentage of the neighborhoods that I've been through over the years. It's like they come outside because they realize somebody's filming a vlog. But then like before that, it's kind of like there's nobody.
They know I was there.
Yeah.
The ladies, see, my neighborhood is there.
Right.
My neighborhood is the people.
But
not my homies.
What's the reason for why nobody's outside anymore? Is it just because
everybody's outside, just not when they're not supposed to be.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
But like my
neighborhood is super active still.
Really?
Extremely active.
So you could go there at noon on a Tuesday and there would be people doing all kinds of crazy shit.
No, they don't. It's not like that anymore.
Right.
We had 2 indictments.
Right.
Nobody slangs like that anymore. And if they do, I don't know.
Short-lived.
No.
We all got phones. Why the fuck you gotta stand outside?
It's not the same.
You get somebody's phone number.
Time changes, exactly.
They pull up and serve you, right?
It's completely different. It's completely different. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. You know, people do things on their own. I don't know. That's not my shit. I don't talk about that. You know what I mean? But it's completely different times. There's the homies still outside just hanging out. Yeah. I don't know what they do. You know, do I talk to them? Yes. I love my boys. When I have events, they pull up.
For sure. Okay, so like, how do you actually end up getting rounded up for this R.I.C.O? Like, and what age were you exactly? 25?
I was 25.
25. Okay.
Well, because there was no way I couldn't be part of it. I'm on the block at all times. There's surveillance of like, hey, this girl is walking up here. Like, this fool's ain't dumb. I've never been caught with anything.
Really?
I've never been caught with drugs, nothing. But people know with the feds, there's no way around it. If they want to take you down, they're going to take you down if you like it or not.
So what's the gist of what the cops are saying to you when you get picked up?
Well, basically I got picked up and it was like the DEA, they broke down, well, you know, they didn't break down my door, but it felt like it, right? They just said, we're taking you in for racketeering. And I didn't even know what racketeering was. But basically my charges were conspiracy to racketeering and distribution of crack cocaine. Those were my charges.
And you were surprised because did you know anybody who had dealt with similar stuff in terms of the R.I.C.O thing? Like, obviously, you're used to the cops pull you over and they find a bunch of shit on you.
I mean, obviously, you hear, you know, MS 18, they've got it indicted, but I personally wasn't thinking about that. I got pulled over every day for a month prior to them picking me up.
Really?
So there's signs.
And they would search you and
they were just to check the car, just stupid things, you know, the exhaust, hey, the windows are tinted, any excuse just to pull you over.
And
pull you over, I should say.
Do they start telling you right away, like, hey, we really want you to just tell on these other guys who've done more serious things than you?
You know what? I have to say that they didn't really try to ask me anything.
Really?
They only took me down. Obviously, it was 75 of us.
They knew you were too solid.
So they already know the vibes. That was just like, I mean, what am I really going to say? You know, like, well, you guys already know whatever you guys know.
Well, I mean, you could say, yeah, so-and-so killed 5 people and I got evidence.
No.
Well, you could, right?
Yeah, but you got to think about, you have to think about your own family. Do you want your kids watching over their backs because you can't handle being somewhere?
No, totally. I'm just wondering from a cop's perspective, it's like we got 30 people on this case and there's really 4 of them who are like the bad dudes who've done the murders and the crazy trafficking or whatever. And we're going to go to somebody like you. We're going to look at you like a weak link and we're going to try to get you to tell us everything and help make this case open and shut about.
Yeah, no, I basically was just like, nah, I don't want to talk about it. Send me back to the unit.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay, so you just saw the clip, but did you know that you can watch this entire interview right now before it's released to the public, uncensored, by becoming a member for just $5 a month, and there's a lot of other crazy benefits as well. So make sure you hit the link down in the description and sign up. Appreciate y'all.